Welcome to the PR Maven Podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's episode, one of our mini episodes, a quick and informative look at how to boost your reputation with today's buyers. The podcast is presented by Marshall Communications, creator of the 65-step Marshall Plan process. For more information, visit marshallpr.com, and on the website under PR Maven, you'll also find information about my two books entitled PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand. This week, I will be sharing my Forbes Agency Council article entitled How to Boost Your Reputation with Today's Buyers. So let's dive right in. I wrote this on what would have been my father's 92nd birthday. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2006. It's one day that I'll never forget. It brings up all kinds of bittersweet memories. Oddly enough, it also reminds me of just how much shopping has changed. When I was growing up, my frugal father would spend at least a month looking for a new car, driving to every Ford or Chevy dealership in the state, talking to dozens of salespeople, and deciding whether he liked and trusted them all in person. He would then wait to see what kind of a deal they would offer him. My father was never in a hurry to make a big purchase. He had lots of time. He never had a cell phone, much less a smartphone. He relied on face-to-face relationships when making a buying decision. Once he liked and trusted a salesperson, he would do business with them for years. Today, salespeople often don't even know that someone is looking at their product or reviewing their service until the decision has been made. We can buy millions of items without ever interacting face-to-face. Online shopping is here to stay and growing rapidly. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say that they've shopped on Amazon, with over 40% buying something on Amazon once a month or, like me, more frequently. By the end of 2020, the number of online shoppers worldwide is expected to surpass 2 billion people. Think about that, more than 2 billion people clicking away for goodies and gifts. For sellers, reputations still matter, but it's the online reputation that actually matters the most, not the in-person kind. Therefore, if you're selling a product or service, Google search is the front line of e-commerce. To be successful, you need to bring your A game to your online profile. After all, your online profile is what dictates your online reputation. Your business will likely benefit from a website that is not only appealing to the eye, but also regularly updated and easily accessible. Ensure that your title tags and meta tags are search engine compatible. That is, Google compatible. Google's market share of online search exceeds 90%, with 3.5 billion searches processed per day. Almost everyone uses Google. That's why your Google SEO needs to be up to par. Just know that Google's algorithm takes everything into account, from company websites and social media platforms to photos and videos. The more external links can be traced back to your brand, the better. That's where public relations comes into play. Google's algorithm takes media coverage into account, prioritizing brands that have secured the most earned media. If you've secured media coverage from mainstream news outlets like the Wall Street Journal and Business Insider, Google will likely view your brand more favorably. Your brand will then occupy better real estate in search engine results, appearing more frequently and higher on the page. When people begin searching online, they may use a broad term like car or PR agency. But as their search progresses, they will often use more long-tail search terms like Lexus dealer in Portland, Maine, or PR agency doing content marketing in Maine. If you're a seller, put yourself in the buyer's shoes. What do you want to see from a brand before buying? Then create content accordingly. Secure media coverage accordingly. Again, this is where PR can be powerful. Most people are more likely to trust news outlets for information than advertising by brands themselves. They tend to see news outlets as impartial, whereas brands are inherently self-promotional. For many buyers, Business Insider reviewing a product favorably goes a much longer way than the brand touting its own product. The news outlet provides credible third-party validation. PR can play a vital role in providing information to journalists, which in turn can result in that information appearing on authoritative websites where buyers are searching for information. Secure the right earned media and you'll likely gain more credibility in the eyes of buyers. Commerce has changed in recent decades, but trust still matters. Having a relationship with the seller still counts, just like it did when my father drove around to all those car dealerships statewide and beyond. Improve your online profile, and you'll likely see your online reputation and sales take off. For today's sellers, there may be no better path to success. For more information, get access to my latest book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, by visiting prmaven.com/giveaway and download a free copy today. And here is my friend, Mike Duguay, to share how PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand have helped him.
After reading PR Works, I really started to think about how marketing actually works. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but what I realized is that each platform nowadays that we use out there in digital media and social media has its own nuance and also quirks to it. And understanding how they're used is exceedingly important. Because when you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. And you can't approach it that way in marketing. And that's where I think Nancy's brilliance really shined in PR Works. I think Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand is really sort of the manifesto of understanding that there's many different levels to marketing. It's on your personal side of your brand, how actually you express yourself through business, but also what people hear you saying and what they see out there in the public eye as well. So I think what's really important there, that's really the blueprint of how you go about using these new social media platforms, but also to express who you are as a human being. Because people want to see you authentically and genuinely working with not only what you do, but also with the customers. And Nancy, on a personal level, I think that's who she is. She embodies that approach.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the Skills and Games section to find and enable the PR Maven podcast flash briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.